Chodesh Tov, it is now Rosh Chodesh Adar, and I want to talk about the saying Misha Nechnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha, which people typically understand that when the month of Adar comes, we should increase our joy. And we do all sorts of things around the holiday of Purim that are supposed to increase our joy. Like we send Mishlach Mano to people, care packages to one another, we have a big Purim Su'uda, a big festive meal with our loved ones. We go to shul and we listen to the story of the Megillat Esther where we were supposed to be annihilated and we weren't, which brings us great joy that we still survive and that God was with us, and all sorts of things that we're supposed to do that will increase our joy. But as we know, the coronavirus has been with us over a year, and even though now we can be inoculated by I've gotten actually both shots, the first one and the second one, and it's been over 8 days, so I could technically go out, but as I said, even though I am not liable to get sick, I could possibly transmit to other people, so we still have to be excessively careful. We have to care about everybody who's not, and we will not be engaging in these activities like we normally do. All that center around people. Shul has tons of people, those big Purim Sudas, tons of people, going out in the streets with all the people. I mean, these are not things that are smart to do now. And so we can't do those things to bring on the joy. And we went through so much suffering, so much sickness and death and loss of family, friends. Many of our role models have passed, and other tragedies that have happened throughout this year. It's hard, it's difficult. So we might say, well, seriously, Misha Nichnas Adar Marbim Simcha, where is that Simcha supposed to come from? It's not coming from the past year, and it's not coming from what we can technically do in 2 weeks from now when Purim comes. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to artificially pretend like we're happy, fake it till you make it. It just doesn't seem very doable. But I think that's when we look at this Misha Nichnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha very artificially, very surface. But I think if we look into the deeper meaning and we analyze the words, we look at them a little closer, I think we can learn certain valuable secrets that will bring Simcha, not Simcha, the happiness where it's fleeting, a fleeting moment based on what we have or what we can do, but based on just who we are and what we think and how we live our lives. And that's really an inner peace that I think everybody wants and can attain. And so I want to look at that within the confines of the sentence. So it says Misha Nichnas Adar. Now the word Adar, which is the name of this month, it comprises of the words Aleph, Dar. Now Aleph represents God, the Alufo Shel Olam, the omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, one and only God. And Dar means a dwelling place, like a dira is an apartment, so it's a dwelling place. So Adar is telling us to make a dwelling place for God. Now that sounds a little bit esoteric. What does that really mean? How do we make a dwelling place for God? And I would like to say that the way to really fulfill this in a meaningful, powerful way is that really what we should all be doing is like Bovavi Mishkan Edna, building a dwelling place for God within. What does that mean? So I think just like God is the one and only unique and only God in this world. God made us similar to Him. How is that? God, when we were created, blew the breath of life. There's a little bit of God in each and every one of us that only we have, that makes us different, that makes us unique, that makes us the only one that could possibly be and do and give out into the world what it is God has given us. And if we can access that, if we can connect with that, we are connecting with the God within. And I think that this year has been a year of, where we have to live a lot in solitude, to be in our own homes, away from other people. It's been an opportunity to cultivate who we really are. And yes, it's difficult, all the loss and all the difficult things, but there's so much we're fortunate in this day and age, so much that we can do from our own homes in terms of, different people I've seen, even with art and dance, and people who can write, people even can do their businesses from their homes, people can teach from their homes. There's so much of us that we can give out into the world once we've spent that time trying to get in touch with who we are and what we have and what we can give. There's so much that we can actually do from our own homes, whatever your talent might be. And I think this time that we're supposed to spend is really finding out who we are, and that if we do that, right, Misha Nechnas Adar, if you go in and you access that Aleph and you make that dwelling place for God within and bring that about, then you will really be marbim b'simcha. You will have an overwhelming sense of joy because you will be in touch with who you are, and you'll have that sense of comfort with yourself. I think in today's day and age, we're all trying to run away from who we are. As soon as we have this little bit of discomfort, we find ourselves, running to social media or going out, or people who say they need a vacation, they need to get out. What we're trying to run away from is ourself. But if you can get in touch with yourself and be comfortable with that, then you will really find inner peace. And it's really a sense of inner peace if you know that there's a one God who created you and has a purpose for you, and that you only have a job that only you can do. It kind of gives you a sense of purpose to go on and brings you joy. I also think that Simcha is joy, happiness, is a word that's seen many different ways from many different people, but I really like this definition that I once heard somebody said, that it comprises also of two words. Simcha is sam moach, what you put in your mind. And what you put in your mind, that's your perception, that's your reality, that's how you live out your days. And if you put good things in your mind, then you will be happy. You will live out that way. But if you keep harping on the negative and being very critical, that's how you're going to feel agitated all the time. And if you sam in your mocha, if you put in your mind, the last letter is hey, God, that will give you so much. It's such a sense of relief and peace to know that really God runs the show. So it gives us permission to just do what is right and to do what is good and let the pieces fall where they may. Because it's just our obligation to be us, the best us, to do the right thing, and then give it up to God. And that will bring us peace of mind. And that's, I think, a true joy. And I hope you can all do that. I know it's not easy, but it's certainly worthwhile. Chodesh Tov. And join me later. I will have a l'chaim going into Shabbat to celebrate Adar. I hope to see you then. Shabbat Shalom. Chodesh Tov.